Hello, so today we'll be talking about political economy and economic development, which is for chapter 3. There are 4 objectives for this chapter. The 4 objectives are what determines the level of economic development in a nation, how political economy is changing around the world, market-based systems, and how these differences can have an effect on other factors like costs, benefits, or risks that can happen because of this. Or basically when we make business with other countries. So to begin, there are 2 different types of measures that are introduced in the book, the GNI and the PPP. As you can see, GNI is the measure of annual income that is made by residents of a nation versus PPP. PPP is more of an income of residents that is converted to international dollars using purchasing power parity rates. PPP actually takes into account the cost of living, and the GNI does not, so that kind of makes it a little more direct in showing the different living standards. Here's an example of both of them. So if you look at the GNI, it's really straightforward. So China makes about $3,000 to $9,000. Sweden and the United States, you can see they make $20,000 and more, so they have a higher income. So this kind of reflects that China is significantly poorer. However, in the PPP, you see different numbers. In 2011, there was actually research done, and for China's numbers, the PPP actually doubled. So this actually reflects that even though China may be significantly more poor with GNI numbers, their economy is growing a lot faster than the US. There's a little bit of controversy happening with these because a lot of people feel that these are misleading because they don't really take into account the black economy, transactions, or economic growth rate. Now, geography and education is also introduced in the book. Geography is important just as much as education for economic development because geography can influence economic policies and also increase growth rates, and this is really helpful when it comes down to trading and promoting. Education, as you see, there was a study done and it actually proved that education makes a population more productive. Now, we see that there's a lot of changes that are happening around the world with political economy. HDI is being it's seen a lot more frequently and being used a lot more. This is the measure that measures the quality of human life in different nations. We also see that there's a lot of laws for private property owners happening now because with the rise in entrepreneurs, we have to be able to protect their profits so they don't become stolen. And we also see a lot of democratic regimes because democratic regimes and like the democracy actually secures these rights for them. We also see market-based systems happening a lot more. There are more than 30 countries that are changing into these economic systems. These economic systems are really important because entrepreneurs need these. These allows for removal of legal restrictions to have them be able to share their ideas and create a lot more. Same thing, laws protecting private rights as discussed previously. Now we move to implications for management practice. These are basically the positives and the negatives that can happen with this. So for this, we see that there has been an increase in the working class and new technology is being introduced. As we said, there's a spread in market-based systems. We also see the market size, the purchasing power of its consumers, and their likely future wealth. But with this, there's also negatives that can arise. So there's a lot of risks that can happen from economic mismanagement and legal systems not being able to always provide the full adequate safeguards for property rights violations. We can also see it being more costly as doing business in like different countries can have different workplaces, pollution standards, and products. So yes, the overall attractiveness really depends on balancing the benefits, costs, and risks associated with doing business in a country. Thank you.